Welcome everyone to the Indy 500, the NASMAR Indy 500, the first ever NASMAR Indy 500 here today from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway here in Indianapolis, Indiana. It is the greatest spectacle in all of racing. It is time for these drivers, these 18 drivers, to compete for 25 laps here for the biggest prize in racing. It's going to be a really fun day today as we watch them all fly into turn one here for the first time in a couple of moments. Indianapolis, man, it's one of the craziest, greatest races. As now we head to the ones to watch. Your pole sitter, Will Power, looks strong here today as he looks for his second Indy 500 after winning this race in 2018. Scott Dixon has been cursed over the past couple of years after winning way back when in 2008, 15 years ago. Can he repeat today? Helio Castroneves is looking to become the first in his quest to win 5 Indy 500s. And new to the 27 this season, Kyle Kirkwood. If he could win today, it might be his first Indy 500 win, but it certainly won't be the first Andretti Indy 500 win. And Patricio O'Ward, more commonly known as Pato, in the Aero McLaren SP. He looks strong as well, along with his teammate, who starts alongside him, Alexander Rossi. Now, let's head trackside to get ready for today's race.
Back home again in Indiana, and it seems that I can see the gleaming candlelight still burning bright through the sycamores. For me, the new mown hay sends out its fragrance through the fields I used to roam. When I dream about the moonlight on the Wabash, how I long for my Indiana home.
Welcome, race fans. 300,000 fans here today, and millions around the world are helping us put on the greatest single spectator sport in the world, the 106th running of the Indianapolis 500. It's Memorial Weekend. We want to thank the men and women in our military and our first responders who make our country safe and secure so we can have the greatest spectacle in racing, the Indianapolis 500. Be safe, have fun, and now for the command. Drivers, start your engines.
And here we go.
Almost ready to get going here in Indy, but first, let's look at our starting lineup. On the front row today, we have Will Power, Christian Lundgaard, and Scott Dixon. And in row number 2, we have Colton Herta, Helio Castroneves looking for his 5th Indy 500, and Kyle Kirkwood looking for his 1st. Row 3, we have Alexander Rossi looking for his 2nd Indy 500 win, and Pato O'Ward along with Scott McLaughlin, both looking for their 1st Indy 500 wins. Going to be a fantastic day out here as we look down to row number 4. Simon Pagenaud won in 2019. Looks to get his 2nd Indy 500 victory. Felix Rosenquist and Dalton Kellett both looking for their 1st to round out row 4. Row number 5 is a row filled with people who have never won the Indy 500. Connor Daly, Romain Grosjean, and Joseph Newgarden. And rounding out today's field in row 6, we have Stingray Robb, Callum Ilott, and Marcus Armstrong. 3 more drivers looking for their 1st Indy 500 wins as they work through the parade laps here around this fantastic 2.5 mile long super speedway. We will have 25 laps. The fuel is about 15 to 20 laps. Now they form up 3 wide. We are ready. Green flag is in the air and we are racing in Indy. Great jump by Will Power down into turn number 1. He takes the lead away over Scott Dixon, who takes 2nd from Christian Lundgaard as they steam their way out of turn number 2 on down the backstretch. Kyle Kirkwood past Lundgaard up into 3rd. Power pulling away with this race lead as they come around to complete the first of 25 laps here this afternoon. It's Power from Dixon, from Kirkwood. And now everyone's settling into a groove as Castroneves looks to get past Kirkwood. Can't quite do it. Lundgaard has gotten just not the greatest of starts, but still a while to recover, though. It's a very long race. As there goes Castroneves. He's on up into the podium positions in 3rd. Now looking for the race lead. Here comes Scott Dixon down the inside. Dixon side by side with Power. Power going to let him have it into turn number 1. And Scott Dixon takes the lead, looking to finally break that curse. It has been 15 years since Scott Dixon has won in the Indy 500. Can he do so today? For Chip Ganassi Racing, Will Power behind in 2nd. Not really having the long run car that he would like at this moment in time as we begin the 4th lap of this race. Helio Castroneves, though, looking fast as well, just at the fastest lap of the race that last time by. So look out for him as now here he goes, slipstream, and down the inside, he will take the 2nd spot into turn number 3. And now he will chase after Scott Dixon. On board with Helio as they head down towards turn number 1. Scott Dixon still leads into turn 2 now. Everything relatively calm throughout the field as everyone settled into a groove here early on. Nobody really pushing too hard as they're all just kind of settling in and logging some laps here before they start to make their moves towards the end to move up and try to potentially win today's Indy 500. Here goes Castroneves, though, not waiting. He wants to take the lead instead of save some fuel there in 2nd. Not going to quite do it. But he gets a great turn 1, and he also gets a great turn 2. Better than Dixon, down the inside, Helio Castroneves looking for a record-breaking 5th Indy 500, moves into the lead. I bet the crowd loved that one, as Scott Dixon now in 2nd trying to sort of put his head down and get back to work here and get back in his groove here, as we already worked the 7th lap, caution free thus far. Elio strong today as Kyle Kirkwood in that Andretti Autosport Napa 27 car, looking strong. Can he potentially take second from Scott Dixon here soon? Alexander Rossi is hot on his heels though, as well, as they work lap 8 now. Castro Neves in front, and that's Kirkwood in the wall and out of the Indy 500. Big hit into the wall out of turn number 2 for Kyle Kirkwood, bringing out the first caution of today's race. This should open the pit window for everyone as well, as the pits are open. Kirkwood is out of the car, and here comes some pit stops. Everybody is coming in here under this yellow flag. We have Castro Neves in, saying the car is pretty good right now. We'll have to see how things are, because he took off maybe a bit slower than you would like, and we could see a late race restart or two here at Indy, given how the past has gone, specifically last year. Scott Dixon as well in, saying that the car is good but could use a little more top end speed here. And Will Power just fell off a cliff there after leading early from pole position, saying that the car just got too tight as the run went on. And Alexander Rossi saying that the car is great right now, coming to life towards the end of these longer green flag runs. Still good all around, but maybe not quite where he wants it. We'll see how these stops change the order. As you can see, Rossi moves up, Power moves up to second, Dixon loses 2 spots, and Patricio O'Ward moves up, as you can see there. It was actually Rossi round the outside of his former car, and the 27 just lost it, I guess, from the air. I don't think there was any contact, because I get the feeling if there was, that 7 car, that Arrow McLaren, would not still be in this race. But anyways, we get ready to restart the Indy 500 here on lap 11 of 25. Green flag, as we're just a few laps out from halfway. And look at Rossi, round the outside of 1, make that 2 cars as he's going for the lead. He's going to take it away from Elio Castroneves. Alexander Rossi pulls off a fantastic, stellar pass to take the lead. That was wild and bold at this point in the race. Way too early to be making those moves, as Dixon now going for second on Elio Castroneves. He slides and hits the wall. Dixon is out. He is crashed out of the Indy 500, and the curse strikes again. Today just wasn't the day for the Chip Ganassi Racing number 9 team, as Scott Dixon is out of this race after crashing just a lap prior to halfway with a strong PNC Honda. Just wow. You can see he just got sideways there, running side by side on that outside line, trying to stick it through like Rossi did, and just did not work at all. But what a move from Alexander Rossi to take the lead of this race, reminiscent of his big 5-car pass around the outside of one of the restarts, I think, in 2018. Castroneves sits there in second. We'll see if he has anything to fight back against Rossi here, because that's 7 cars strong after the pit stops. Power looking stronger as well here early in the going, but of course, we knew how that car fell off a cliff over the course of the long run. We'll see if he's able to come back from that as we get ready to go back racing here at Indy. Green flag is flying. Pace car hits the pit lane. We are racing once again, and Rossi goes defensive as Castroneves tries to go around the outside. Elio not that bold as Rossi was on that last restart here, as Alexander Rossi stays in front. I wonder, are they all going to stay in line for a little bit here? Because we're getting down towards the end, but it's still too early to make any sort of really aggressive maneuvers here, as O'Ward down the inside of Castroneves. He's going for second. Castroneves does the smart thing and lets him have the spot easily down into turn number 2. Again, Castroneves proving my point, showing that it's just too early at this current stage to really race aggressively just yet, but I'm sure in 5 laps or so, things will completely change and the aggression levels will pick up big time on board with Award as he tracks down his teammate Rossi, who leads this race. It's an Arrow McLaren. 1-2, huge crash! Car up in the air as they come out of turn number 4. And that will bring out the caution once again. Oh man, what a huge crash there for Callum Ilott, who flew over the top of somebody. Just looking to identify who the other driver was. I think it was a black car. Yeah, there. It was Marcus Armstrong, who just sent the 13 up in the air. When you see these replays, just watch this. Flying through the air goes that 13 car. Lucky not to go over right there as it came back down on the ground as well. A huge airplane crash as Marcus Armstrong just lost it out of the corner. Something could have happened to that car, but still a huge wreck nonetheless. Someone we got to watch out for, though, on this restart, Scott McLaughlin, working his way up. The Australian former V8 supercar driver, looking very strong right now. He's been fast at Texas, hasn't really shown the same speed at Indy, but he's good on these ovals. We'll see what he can do as we are back to green. Here in Indy, contact between the 2 Arrow McLarens. Rossi almost collided with his teammate Award, and it allows Castro Neves to slide into second. Yeah, it is time to race aggressively as Newgarden goes 3 wide down the inside of Scotty Mack and Colton Herta. Rossi still leads the way. Award in third, trying to get back past Castro Neves. He has a run here. He's side by side and in front. Castro Neves not going to risk that one once again as Herta's in the wall. Huge crash. Car upside down. It's Will Power. And Scott McLaughlin is caught up as well. And the caution flag will come out with 4 laps to go. Could this be a race ender? I'm telling you, that was a massive accident. We'll see how much damage there is. But I mean, race control, we'll see. They could throw the red flag here. If they do, it'll have to be this time by. And they did this in the Indy 500 in 2022. So we'll see. Will Power upside down. And Scotty Mack also involved. Just a big wreck, and oh boy. Cars heading down the pit lane. Red flag here in Indianapolis. And I mean, that only means one thing. This race will restart. And you could just hear it. The crowd is just, they are loving this. We are going to get a 1-lap shootout in this Indianapolis 500. Alexander Rossi is the leader. Pato Award lines up second. Elio Castro Neves is third, and I wouldn't count out Joseph Newgarden in fourth either. But this is going to be wild. There's Herta. He just lost it on the outside, pushing too hard. Power went up and over the back of him and then collected his own teammate, Scott McLaughlin, while upside down, turning Scotty Mack hard into the turn 2 wall. 3 Penske cars, 3 of the 4 taken out in this accident right here, late in the going, as we are almost ready to get back going in this race. But first, let's just sort of look at who could potentially still win this thing. Alexander Rossi leads the race. He's been the dominant force in the second half. Can he hang on, though? He's got an equal car behind him, a teammate of Pato Award, also looking strong and looking for his first Indy 500, unlike Rossi, who's already won back in 2016. And then Elio Castro Neves looking for number 5 after winning most recently in 2021. Can he do so today from that 3rd spot? It'll be tough from really 3rd on back, but never say never, because you just never know what's going to happen here in Indy. The field rolls off, and we are getting ready for a 1-lap shootout in the greatest spectacle in racing. Get ready, because here we go. Green flag is in the air. We are back underway. And Award is on the attack on the outside. Heading into turn 1. Can he make it stick? Contact made. He falls back and Rossi pulls away. Snaking down the back straightaway. Can Award come back at him? That gap might be too big, but don't count out Award just yet because the slipstream is huge. Newgarden up in the third, but Alexander Rossi is going to win his second Indianapolis 500. Wow. What a spectacular race that was. Came right down to the wire there at the end. Contact between the two Arrow McLarens. Oh my goodness, what a race. As you see Romain Grosjean there, finishing well as well. P5, a top 5 for Romain in his second Indianapolis 500. First time he's ever finished the Indy 500. Might I also add, as you could see the results, Rossi beats Award to the line over Newgarden, who passed Castro Neves on the final lap to take a podium spot. Behind this lead battle, Grosjean, Rosenqvist, Lundgaard, Kellett, and Stingray Robb round out your top 9, with Daly rounding out the top 10, Connor Daly. Everyone else crashed out of the race. Scott McLaughlin, Will Power, Simon Pagenaud, and Colton Herta in that final caution of the day. Callum Ilott and Marcus Armstrong in that big airborne accident. Before that, Scott Dixon crashed out on his own around halfway, and Kyle Kirkwood brought out our first full course caution of the day back on lap 8. I hope you all enjoyed that race. It was a pain to film. Took forever. Longest race I've ever filmed. I've never filmed a 25 lap race around such a large track. Next up, I'll be doing a 40 lap Daytona race for the NASMAR Cup Series Coke Zero Sugar 400. Make sure to like and subscribe so you do not miss that race, because you won't want to miss it. It's going to be crazy. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.